What is really interesting about this is that we've been getting setups across setups along all the time frames. You might notice this big green band. We've literally said here's 161.83 risk reward ratio entry trade. And we've got that one on long. I have a small segment kept on that I'm holding the whole way for our eventual hopeful target, which is through the 45 range. When you come to someone like me who's an active trader and you see a whole bunch of tripwire alerts, you know we're on a heightened state of awareness and reactivity to the market.
Francis Hunt is the founder of the Market Sniper and originator of the Hunt Volatility Funnel method, a trading methodology that focuses on identifying key breakout trading opportunities and key trading levels for various assets, including precious metals. As a renowned technical analyst and trader primarily focused on the precious metal space, Hunt, like every other investor in the space, says he is very interested in the ongoing silver rally. At the moment, silver is trading at about $25 per ounce, a very important price level for the precious metal. With the exception of the banking crisis rally earlier this year, this is the first time silver has shot above that range in 2023. Plus, on a longer time frame, silver has been above the current price level only a handful of times in the past 5 years. But the most important thing about the recent rally is that there is almost no explanation for it. Unlike the rally during the regional banking crisis, when there was a clear reason for the increased interest in silver and gold, there is almost no immediate or clear explanation for this. This shows that all of the underlying fundamentals for investing in these metals are still very popular. Just like popular faces like Andy Schectman, Rafi Farber, and others have been telling us for years, investors are observing what's happening in the banking sector and with the overall U.S. economy. Everyone is slowly realizing that heavy storms are gathering on the horizon, and when the rain begins, it will affect everyone and everything. During a recent interview with Liberty and Finance, Hunt outlined his outlook for gold and silver amidst the ongoing rally and the gloomy economic conditions. According to Hunt, silver is in a very important phase right now, one that really portends a likely price breakout to at least $45. While he also envisions some interesting price breakouts for gold, Hunt is particularly bullish on silver and is predicting that we are heading for a drastic reduction in the gold-silver ratio. We will now bring you clips from Hunt's interview. Please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Also, ensure you drop your comments and observations in the comment section below. Thanks and enjoy the video.
This essentially was the macro structure. And we pointed out, obviously there was the original fail that was around about July, going August of 2020. Then you had a lot of moments where you came up here and you failed back down. We also like to split this entire, and of course this comes off a bull pole that runs right the way through there, Elijah. So it's an up move, and now you've had this huge stall almost, you can call it, but it's in the category of continuation pattern. It's in the category of continuation pattern, and it's our assessment that right now you have just put your foot through the wire on a number of levels over here. And I'm going to cover that. And I think that technically that is super significant. Of course, you mentioned quite correctly the round number of 25, which is a quarter of a way to 100. It's half the way to 50. It is probably the roundest number after $10 silver and $50 silver going to 100. So it is a seminal level as well. So that's the macro structure. And that particular structure to the upside is the one that we are getting and basing our 45 to 50 range initial pause point. When I say an initial pause point, I don't think that's the end of the move, but it's the point where you might have a relatively longer period of churn and chop for a while. I'm hopefully not as long as 2020 all the way through to 23, but you could have a 6 month, you could have enough to shake some of the bulls out, and you could have some reasonably harsh snapbacks after that level is made. So that's our macro. That's just the argument we've been making for an extended period, and I think others too on your program that look at charts. And then when we drop it down daily, what's happened on the daily, we have a lot of things, and I should be able to bring out the lines here now. What you'll see over here is inside of that, we had a smaller structure after that last interaction with that. So this red line is the top of that big structure we've just come from, which we're expecting to be broken out. That's that one. I don't want to redraw it because it'll dominate. But inside of that, we've had a flag, and we broke there. I'm going to show you what happened there in a minute when we go down another time frame. So I always do 3 time frames: macro, medium, and then, what do I do right now-ish and expect for the next week or so. And that's kind of it. And this was one of the areas where we said it might get a bit soft. It will sell off there. And it did. And in fact, gold made a downside target that we had there. But more interestingly, after it made that flush out to the low of that flag, we got an up move with a flag, and that flagpole brought us up to the boundary of this key level that is on the weekly time frame that we've just come off of. So you're actually seeing a lot of validations. This was a seminal event because this flag is going to take you to, and I'll bring the targets back on, around the 38, which is the beginning of the journey to 35. So if I just take that overlay, draw away, that's got an upside target that's going to take you quite a bit higher. And then when we go right into the smaller time frame, this is where I say you could have leveraged and got in with trading. It's more important to be investment, of course, but this was a beautiful little structure, and it occurred at that medium time frames level. So we often find you get a little fractal when you're tapping up against a key moment area. In other words, there's a winding up process that has to take place, and that did.
Hunt is certain that this may very well be the moment that silver investors have been awaiting since the metal hit an all-time high of $49.51 in April 2011. Since hitting that peak, silver has stayed much lower for almost 13 years now. The last time spot silver touched $30 levels per ounce was in February 2013, according to closing price data from Refinitiv. However, analysts are certain that we are well on the way to breaking that barrier within the next few months. If silver is able to break above the around $26 recorded earlier this year, the subsequent rush into the metal could very well send it above $30 and well on its way to Hunt's price target. During the interview, Hunt also discussed his outlook on gold, again using different time frames on the chart, and how the ongoing rally could impact the gold-silver ratio. Let's get back to the interview.
I started with my favorite, and gold has done very much the same thing on this different time frames. The only thing that saw me really show my little favoritism pitch now is that we're getting the relative overperformance that we've been waiting for the first time from silver. So if you look where silver is now, it's at about 25.19 cents. And that's literally almost the high of the move. I'm not sure that's going to be proven to be the case in gold. And when we refer to the gold-silver ratio, which we'll no doubt follow that up with, you'll see again that there it is. We'll come back to that chart. Let's get gold up. So let's have a look at it on the same basis, the 3 time frames, Elijah. And you'll see weekly. I'm even going to push this one out to fortnightly just to get the last up move into frame. So it's a half month, if you will. And there we go, 2 weeks. We can get the up move in view. Again, I'll just hide my drawings initially. So big move, big move from that period. That was 2018 mid-year, right the way up. And then this has been the 2000 mark has been essentially the holding pen for gold. We've not had any period of we've not had a candle body on the weekly or the fortnightly or even the monthly close above 2000. And our comment is, this is your week, your fortnight, and your month where this is going to happen. And we've already had that October as month has a new high for the gold on the US dollar. And all the others, largely, I think we did a wrap around the other currencies when we last spoke. Gold was doing exactly what it needed. I was trying to encourage people to hold on and that a lot of things were coming for us pretty soon. And we were highlighting how it's done what it's supposed to be doing for the yen, the euro, and the pound. So we probably don't need to do that again. But it's very key that now on the dollar that we've actually got the highest fortnightly close on the current candle, and last month, October, was the highest monthly close for the dollar. This particular structure here with this projection, so that's the pole, just doubling it up there for you, up is where we get our 2,900 to the doorstep of 3K call, which is likely to see the 3K probably run. So you get a geometry. Target should never be made to the cent. It's not an exact science. It's a natural geometry of reaction, but you will probably be get a technical run of the 3,000 mark, which is good. That will make headlines even if the central bankers don't want it to. It'll be a very difficult one to keep it down from. And that, again, is a key triggering event. I'll change colors just to put it in the box for everyone to spot. But that right there, I think, is the seminal event. And it's once, twice, and then the third time, and then the next one you break. And this is where we are. I think that's we are beginning that move now on a macro level, which is super positive. Now, the point I was making just on the short time frame is that gold is a little bit off in terms of having somewhat of a pullback, while silver is actually literally at its high. So that brings us to the natural progression, which is the gold-silver ratio. You may recall this is a massive head and shoulder according to us. But the only time, the point at which you get the early warning for that head and shoulder triggering, instead of the neckline at 65, that bold red line that's horizontal, is the dashed one. And we've been coming on your show waiting and saying, one of these days, this line's going to go. But until it's ready to go, it isn't. And we got a little bit of a we got a bit of a cry wolf call over there, it has to be said. And we were like, look, it could be looking ready to go, and it reversed and pushed back into the range. But again, technically, these are very, very positive, in other words, negative for the chart. Remember, we want gold-silver ratio to go down. These are very, very positive technical structures because this looks sick and jaded. The triggering event, this is coming for another run. And this basing ascending grind line, that's the dashed line that you're seeing there in red all the way up. I'll just double it up so that nobody's confused. That is the one we want to see break. And we are running up to the border at the moment, Elijah, on that. And that's a seriously important moment because that's saying silver is now doing an overperformance relative to a strong gold. And that's going to be really powerful and helpful.
Silver acts as a lagging indicator for gold, often offering more volatility than gold, which is generally considered a more stable alternative. However, during bull markets, silver doesn't just outperform gold. It goes on a massive explosive run for a short period of time. Gold has sort of had its rally this year and is currently near all-time highs. Do you think silver is trying to make similar moves? Will we get a reversion of the gold-silver ratio to its historical levels? Please drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Also, ensure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications for more videos on silver, gold, and copper. Thanks for watching.